Property rights limitation, private rights, public welfare, and the declaration of state of emergency, COVID-19. To deter spread of pandemic of the coronavirus, the government declares a state of emergency. Against the declaration, it will restrict the activities of private persons. In foreign countries, the government ordered to prohibit free movement of private persons. To the contrary, the Japanese government hesitated to order like that. Those who experienced World War II would fear the situation governed by the martial law at that time. Many people may object the intrusion of private rights by the government under the present Constitution of Japan. We will focus on the limitation of private rights, especially property right. What is property right? You have your property. In this session, you learn about the principle and limitation of property rights. First, let us talk about the Constitution. The Japanese Constitution ensures private ownership. It is called the principle of absoluteness of ownership. This principle is as important as the principle of freedom of contract. At the same time, the Constitution permits the restriction of ownership because of public welfare. Where the government needed to use someone's land for the public utility building, the government can receive the ownership of the land, paying a reasonable compensation, not at the market price. Landowner is deprived the freedom of decision-making and lost the benefit if he or she could sell it to the private person. In this case, his or her private right is restricted by the public welfare. Limitation of private right, declaration state of emergency by COVID-19. News reports said that after the declaration, private rights are restricted. In this session, we should check the provisions of the special law. Act on special measures against the pandemic influenza. To control the pandemic coronavirus, the Act on Special Measures Against Pandemic Influenza has been amended in March 2020. The amendment endeavored to include coronavirus into the pandemic influenza provided by the Act. President Shinzo Abe announced the declaration of emergency situation of pandemic influenza after 7th April. Article 32 provides the declaration of emergency situation of pandemic influenza. Article 32, subsection 1, where the pandemic influenza occurs inside the nation and due to the nationwide and rapid spread, significant impact on people's life and national economy occurs, or the danger of the situation whose conditions provided by the cabinet order. Government headquarters shall declare the pandemic of influenza and take a public announcement of matters as follows, and report it at the Parliament. First, terms of special measurement. Second, areas of special measurement. Third, overview of special measurement. Subsection 2 provides the term should not exceed 2 years provided by the subsection 1. Act on special measures against the pandemic influenza. Article 32's matters of essential. First, terms of special measurement is 1 month. Second, areas of the special measurement are metropolitan area, Osaka, Hyogo, Fukuoka. Third, overview of special measurement is to stay home. Article 45, subsection 1 provides that in case of pandemic influenza, to prevent spread of the pandemic influenza and to protect nations' life and their health, to avoid disruption of national life and national economy, the specified prefectural governor can request the nation for cooperation not to go out their residence unless necessary to maintain life to prevent infection. Main point is to request the nation for cooperation not to go out the residence unless necessary to maintain life. It is not prohibited to go out of house as in the other countries. Temporary medical facilities. Article 48 provides temporary medical facilities. Article 48, subsection 1 provides specified prefectural governor should provide medical care according to the action plan of the prefecture as a temporary medical facility to provide medical care to patient in case that because of lack of hospital or medical institution. Some hotels in Tokyo and Osaka proposed to provide their facility for patients with minor symptoms. These are temporary medical facilities. Use of land, house and goods. Article 49 provides usage by the government of land, house and goods. Article 49, subsection 1 specified prefectural governor can use land, house and goods, if necessary to use, to take special measurement of pandemic influenza in the designated area to establish the temporary medical facilities, with the agreement of the landowner or the possessor.